Adityaya Namaha. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Swami Agneshwara Suryananda Satsang. Today, we're going to be talking about how to control one's emotions. You see, in previous videos, I've talked about how emotions are actually illusions, but unfortunately, many people have tried and they could not reach the higher reality. They have tried and tried and tried, and they have failed. And many people have even given me responses saying, "Oh, I don't think emotions are illusions," or "Oh, it's very hard to understand this concept," or "I'm trying but I can't get to that reality." Well, for those people, I have made this video so that you can, even if you cannot reach the level where emotions are illusions, at least you can control these illusions. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to master one's own emotions, how they can control these illusions to work for them, and so that they do not get controlled by the emotions instead. Alright, so let us start with a basic emotion, such as anger. Usually when we're angry, everyone here watching this video today can connect with me. Everyone has been angry at some point in their life. When we are angry, it is usually because of something that hasn't happened as we would have liked, or it is something that is happening and it is in a way that we feel it is unfair, or we are simply doing it because it is a sort of defense. So, for example, let's say we went to the lottery and we got a lottery ticket and we didn't win. Some of us would get angry because it didn't happen as it should have. We should have won. At least that is what we would be thinking when we get the lottery ticket. Oh, I want to win, I want to win. At the very least, that is what one would think when they go to the lottery tickets. After all, I would not think one would think I'm going to lose when they get the lottery ticket. I wouldn't see why you would do it if you know you're going to lose. But anyway, the next, it is a sort of unfair treatment. That sort of anger can occur too. So let us see an example. For example, let us say we go down to the coffee shop and, well, we order a coffee and the coffee has less milk in it, or there's something wrong with it, not enough sugar. We'll feel this is unfair. We paid good money for this coffee. It should be perfect, or at least to our liking at the very least. And so you see, the anger can come that way as well. And then there's also the anger that comes from self-defense. Oh, a sort of self-defense. Let's say someone punches you and you get angry. The reason you get angry is because he has punched you and it hurts. And you want to make sure he doesn't do it again, so you get angry and you punch him back. Usually that's how it works. Now, that is another example of how one gets angry. Now, how can we control these emotions? You see, when we go to that position in life where we get to that anger, the only way to control an emotion is by fighting it with another emotion. So, if we are going to that coffee shop and there is something wrong with that coffee, we must think, yes, I understand, the coffee is not to my liking, and yes, I am angry, but I know that lady, she's a nice lady, she's always given me good coffee. Today, she made a small mistake, and we must think about the kindness. We must think of some other emotion to counteract it. Now let's say you are in that lottery ticket situation. You see, in that lottery ticket situation, you would think, well, I knew there were a few odds that couldn't have been in my favor, and that is why I lost today. This is because of my stupidity. I shouldn't get angry. I should take this as a lesson, and I should learn from it. And you must have the different emotion, the emotion of understanding, I would say, or reasoning. Now, if you're in the fighting situation and someone punches you, when you hit him back, because obviously you're going to hit him back, you mustn't think, I want to hurt this person because he hurt me. You must think, he hurt me and I'm just going to show him what it feels like to feel that pain, so that he doesn't hurt me back again, ever again. And you must think of it in a different way, because you see, the action or the reaction is not the problem. if you go and get that coffee and you don't like it, and you go back to that lady and say, well, this doesn't have enough sugar, can you put some more sugar in it? You can say that, that is fine, but we are here to control the emotion. You mustn't go and scream, this doesn't have any sugar in it, why are you making this kind of coffee? No, that is the reaction. But we just want to take the emotion out of it. That way you can be in control of yourself. And so, you must think of another emotion. And let us say you have nothing towards that shop, or that lady, or anything to do with that place. You just went there to get a coffee the first time, and you didn't like it. Then, if there's no emotions associated with the place, then you must think of an emotion associated with something else. So when you are in that angry state, because there is no sugar in your coffee, you must think, my little brother. What a nice little kid. You must think like that. Something else. Something enjoyable. And you will see you will end up a lot more calmer, a lot more relaxed. And you see, once you've calmed down and relaxed and taken control of your emotions, then you can go back and say, there's not enough sugar in this coffee, can you put some more coffee? And you'll see, you'll be in a much more pleasant state of mind as well. As for the lottery ticket, you will think, well, I lost today, but I did win a couple of months ago. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll win some other time, or maybe I should just quit gambling altogether. Something like that. And you'll be in a lot more calmer state. Of course, if you've never won, then you can always think, well, it's alright. I can quit. This is a life lesson. And you can take it in a positive way. Now, let us say you're in that fighting situation, and the man punches you. When you hit him back, that's the reaction. Of course, you'll hit him back. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you see, you are not going to hit him back because you want to hurt him. You are simply going to hit him back because you want to teach him that it hurt you, and you want to show him how much it hurt you, so he does not hurt you back ever again. And you must calm down and think, okay, I'm not going to hurt him because I want to hurt him. I simply want to show him what it is that I feel, so that he does understand what he did to me. That is a much reasonable way of thinking, a much more reasonable way of thinking. And you see, this way of thinking is a lot better. You see, in this fighting situation, when he punches you and you punch him, that is the reaction, because he hit you and you have felt pain, and you want to make sure he feels the pain so he knows what it feels like and you won't do it again. That is the intention you must have. And so in your mind you must think of some other thought. So let's say he punches you and you get angry, you must think, my family, what a wonderful group. I am so relaxed, I'm thinking of them. And then, just for a few seconds, or even a few minutes, until the anger disappears, then the pain, only the pain is left. And you will think, alright, I'm in pain, I'm going to make sure he is as well. I'm not doing this out of anger, I'm simply going to hit him so he knows what it is like. Of course, if you're in a calm state, you'll first say, don't hit me, it hurts. And if he hits you again, then not out of anger, but out of real self-defense. When you are simply hitting them to show them how much it hurts, so that they do not hit you again. That is real self-defense. That is self-defense without the emotion. If the self-defense has emotion, then that is violence. If the self-defense has no emotion behind it, then it is self-defense. Now, that is the truth. Now, once you have reached this state, then, in any part of life, let us say you are going to work, and someone rubs you the wrong way, you can simply calm your mind and say, it is alright, it is okay, I'm thinking of something else, I'm in a happier place, of some other thought. You see, another example, or another technique you can use, when you are in that state, anger, or greed, or lust, or any emotion, then all you have to do is think of a stronger emotion. Let us start with lust, because many people have a lot of problems. They are very lustful, especially young kids these days. These young teenagers, they're always very lustful. always looking for the next lustful woman so they can fulfill their lustful desires. And so you see, a technique for these youngsters, what they can do is, if a lustful woman walks by, they can immediately think of a time when they've had some sort of problem, some sort of issue, and the anger they feel. And once the anger comes down onto them, the lust will disappear, completely disappear, and all they will feel is anger. Or they can choose a different emotion, but anger is very good, because you see, anger is a very piercing emotion. It can crush pretty much any other state of mind. However, if you did not want to use anger, you could always use happiness. You could think, I'm in a happy state. Now, let us say you are in a state of hate. There is someone in your life that you hate, and they constantly keep appearing because there is some situation you are in that forces you to introduce yourself to that person and communicate. And regardless of the situation, you have no choice but to be communicating with that particular individual. Now, you see, what one can do in this situation is they can simply close their eyes and imagine a time when they are happy. Any time it may be. Just for a few minutes before you start communicating with them. And that, you'll see, changes the situation a lot more. You won't be as irritated or as flustered, and you won't want to do anything to that individual. Of course, these are just techniques, small techniques, where you simply use another emotion to control the present emotion. Now, there are other techniques, such as suppressing the emotions completely. For example, if you're in a state of anger because of something, let it be misfortune, let it be bad luck, whatever it is, let it be another individual. Simply sit down and repeat the words, hate is an illusion, hate is an illusion, anger is an illusion, anger is an illusion. And you see, as you repeat these, make sure you chant them. Of course, in my previous videos, I talked about how to do meditation. And you see, if you follow those meditation techniques, but in this scenario, just chant. Chant those 2 phrases. You'll see in 5 to 10 minutes, the anger or the hate will disappear. And you'll come to a clear state of mind. You see, no matter what the problem is, if you simply take a few moments to rest and think it through and calm your mind by using a different emotion to counteract the present emotion, or by chanting that this, whatever emotion you're feeling, is an illusion. Hate is an illusion, love is an illusion, lust is an illusion. Whatever it is, if you just chant it for 5 to 10 minutes, or even 2 to 3 minutes, it doesn't really matter. It depends on the individual, but just chanting it for 1 or 2 minutes, even that is enough. You can relinquish yourself from the emotion's grip. Of course, the highest knowledge is to understand and accept that all emotions are illusions. But for those who cannot do this, at least they can control the emotions. They can control these illusions for the time being. But you see, once you practice the control, once you control these emotions again and again and again for very extended periods of time, 1, 2 years, eventually you'll be able to move on to the next stage and completely accept that emotions are illusions. After all, if they were real, could you manipulate them? No. If they were real, if they could really control you? No. That is why you must first learn to control these illusions, and then you can move on to accepting the reality that they are all just illusions and they are just fake. Now, these techniques, I hope they have been helpful, and I hope that these techniques can be used for your own self-satisfaction. Now you see, I would like to reveal one more technique. You see, when one is under some emotion, the Eastern masters would use this technique to teach their students to break from the grip of the emotions. What they would do in the ancient times is they would force the individual to experience some emotion. They would think of a lustful woman, and then immediately, when they are in that state of mind, they would change the state of mind immediately by giving food for that person so he can eat. Or they'll do something else, maybe punch him in the face while he's in that mind. That way, he will change from one emotion to the next by force immediately. And when you start off with this technique, what happens is that when you are doing it with the other person, you understand, oh yes, I can change from one emotion to the next extremely fast. And so, when you get this forced change of emotions, then later on you can try yourself. When you are in a state of lust, you can think, no, I am hungry right now. I am hungry right now. My emotion is hunger, not lust. And you can change immediately. Of course, it takes practice, but to start this stage or to start this process, one should first get a friend or a partner to force them from one emotion to the next so that they can keep jumping. Then they can try jumping on their own. No matter what the situation is, they can keep jumping, jumping, jumping. And eventually you'll be able to control your emotions freely. If you're happy, you can be sad. If you're sad, you can be happy. If you're angry, you can be in love. But at the end of the day, you can keep changing left and right. Emotions will become sort of like a game for you because they are nothing more than illusions. They are not real. And for you to understand that reality, if it is hard to understand that reality already, then you can try these procedures and master it at the end. Adityaya Namaha. Let us let the light of the sun guide us all.